some stories never reach the headlines.
He believed rich people were corrupt. He claimed sex workers were beneath saving. He killed them, dozens of them, using a hammer, and sometimes he ate their livers. This is the story of Yoo Young-chul, South Korea's most terrifying serial killer, and one the world barely knows. In 2003, Seoul was gripped by a strange and growing fear. A series of murders shocked the city, not for their visibility, but for their invisibility. Affluent, elderly victims were being found bludgeoned to death in their homes. The killer didn't rob them. Jewelry, cash, electronics, all untouched. There was no forced entry, no witnesses. Police believed they were random home invasions, perhaps copycat crimes. But with each new death, a pattern started to emerge. The victims were all rich, elderly, and lived alone. Yoo Young-chul, newly released from prison, had developed a deep resentment for the wealthy. He saw them as symbols of a corrupt system. He later told police that he began his killings as a form of cleansing society. Yoo's first known murder took place in September 2003. His weapon of choice was simple and terrifying, a hammer. He would strike the victims repeatedly, often fracturing their skulls beyond recognition. After killing them, he would sometimes cover their faces. But his shame didn't last long. After a few months, Yoo shifted focus, from the elite to the marginalized. He began targeting sex workers. He would lure women to his apartment in western Seoul, often under the pretense of paying for their services. Once inside, Yoo would strike them with a hammer or blunt weapon, often killing them in his bathroom. He later confessed that his bathroom was designed specifically for this purpose, modified to reduce blood splatter. It became his slaughterhouse. What he did next was even more chilling. Yoo dismembered the bodies. Some were buried in the mountains behind Bongcheon-dong. Others were burned or dumped. In at least one instance, Yoo cooked parts of his victim's liver and ate it. He claimed it made him feel powerful. The police didn't realize the same man was behind both sets of murders. Yoo's justification was complex and delusional. He described himself as a vigilante, a moral executioner. But his background tells a different story. Yoo Young-chul had a long criminal history before he ever became a killer. He was convicted of rape in 2000 and served time in prison. He was also a fraudster, forger, and thief. The turning point, Yoo claimed, was his breakup with a sex worker he had been living with. After she left him, his rage boiled over. It became personal, targeted. He began hunting women who reminded him of her. Yoo was finally arrested in July 2004. But not because of an elite task force or clever police work. A sex worker he had arranged to meet noticed something off and managed to escape. She alerted police. When Yoo was taken into custody, police believed he was just another violent John. But once in custody, the real story unraveled. Yoo began confessing, calmly, methodically. He described how he killed, where he buried bodies. He showed no emotion. In fact, he smiled during his reenactments and even requested to demonstrate how he used his hammer. In total, Yoo confessed to 26 murders, though only 20 were confirmed. Police believe the number may be higher. Yoo was sentenced to death in December 2004. He displayed no remorse during trial. He insulted victims' families and attacked his own defense team. Despite his sentence, Yoo remains on death row. South Korea has not carried out an execution since 1997. His case led to public outcry and exposed major flaws in South Korea's criminal tracking systems. Should he be executed or left to rot in silence? Let us know what you think in the comments.